What's up, everybody? Rothstein here, Betting Public Sports Show. I'm your beloved host, Fame Rothstein, a.k.a. Malcolm Excellence. Okay, today is Tuesday, May 26, 2026, day after Memorial Day. Please like and subscribe to the channel. Leave comments, share the video. Thanks for that, that one subscriber who got me to 600. Now I need you to tell a friend to get me over 600. Let's get to 7, and then 800, 900, then 1,000, and them four tell four more, all that. Let's rank these numbers up, all right? Shout to the Knicks going to the NBA Finals. Today I'm gonna talk a little shit. This ain't about sports or sports betting. Shout out to the Knicks, going to the finals after sweeping Cleveland. And today I set myself here, out here, and I'm in nature. You hear the birds chirping. I'm out here in nature. Because as you know, but it don't matter if I'm out in nature or wherever, just don't try to run up, because wherever we at, we stay ready and strapped. I try to live a life of Raleigh. I don't care if it's Teddy or Pat. Shout out Cameron. You know what I'm saying? But listen, I want to talk about Dr. Cheyenne Bryant. We haven't really talked much on her on this channel. I don't remember anything significant about her, because I tried to stay away from it. Because I whether she's an actual doctor or she's a mental health life coach personality on these socials, on the internet and whatnot. And recently she's been in the heat because she can't provide her doctorate, and she won't provide it, or proof of her, some substantial proof. There's nothing in the clearinghouse, and I guess she doesn't have a mental health professional's license number or anything like that. Things that would normally you could prove that you were in that field. A professional, a doctor in that field. And apparently she can't find it because the university she went to is defunct. And it's just things like that. And then she kind of doubled down and said, I ain't going to look for that shit. I ain't got to prove nothing to y'all. And there is something to be said about that, because people with those degrees and certifications, I was in academia, still am to an extent, but that certification, that proof is tantamount to them. That's like kind of like the purpose of doing it, so you can prove that you're doing it, whether you do it right or wrong, or somebody was successful or not. That's kind of part of it. So she probably never has, and she gave some old cockamamie excuse. Just happens to go to a university that's defunct, and she said that they would sell her proof because she had it was something about involving financial aid, something like that. Which people who've been on financial aid, they realize that was a lie, because financial aid has nothing to do with your grades and certifications, your academics. So let's just say, for the sake of just on argument, she's fronting. Okay, and it's come out, and people have been railing on her. Check my man Fawcett Media. Corey Holcomb. Fawcett Media kind of does a lot of reactions to Corey Holcomb and other celebrities, and he's doing well with that. And like, he been tearing her apart. Like, he about 5-6 videos on her. Corey Holcomb, 5-6 videos on her. Because she's been on Paul Pierce and Cam Newton show. But at any rate, like I said about her certification and whatnot, she's doubled down on and said, I ain't got to prove y'all nothing. And of all people, who came out, played Captain Save 'em, and kind of really saved her from this mess? Dr. Umar Johnson. Yes, Mr. FDMG Academy. Frederick Douglass, Marcus Garvey Academy. Why? Because he can relate. One, not just why did he come out and save her? Because he can relate. Not just the situation with his school and not coming through, despite all the money, donated to him and the school not up and running, but the certifications and whatnot, because they came at Umar about that. Now, I think he came out and produced his stuff and kind of told everybody, because, they were saying that, even the Frederick Douglass the descendants were saying, like, he ain't one of us. He ain't our peoples like that, this, that, and the other. And he had to kind of clear that up a little bit and said that, he wasn't necessarily his direct descendant, maybe his brother's descendant or something like that. Frederick Douglass's brothers, was like Umar's like great grandpa or something like that. Or it was a little to do for a minute but people kept fucking with Umar because, his message, his original message about psychotropic drugs being given to kids at school, all that Adderall and all that kind of stuff, and how it was damaging to people, especially black people. His original message, I'm telling you, is unfuckwittable. It's unfuckwittable. And then he started getting into other stuff, race, interracial dating and things like that. And he tried to do the school. I think what happened with the school is he bit off more than he can chew with such a small crew. And he probably didn't, want to let too many people in the circle. Or things just kind of, things just kind of went left so quickly. And so much over his head, he was just basically in over his skis from the giddy up. Did not expect it to be as entailed as it would be. Didn't expect the money to come in so heavily as it would be. And he did what any other undisciplined man does. Going out, spending it on whatever. Everything but the cause, what he was supposed to. And I think he relates to Dr. Cheyenne in a way that he felt he needed to go save her on the Art of Dialogue show. Art of Dialogue, he's kind of does like those Vlad type of interviews where he's off camera just asking questions to celebrities and whatnot. And he told and Dr. Umar on the Art of Dialogue show. Dr. Umar on the Art of Dialogue show said that people were jealous of Dr. Cheyenne because of her popularity and her looks. And we ain't gonna front. She's obviously popular. We're talking about her on the internet, and she's a very attractive woman, very nice looking woman. In the face. Then we just seen her body yesterday. She put out a thirst trap video. Her on a swimsuit. I think the music in the background was Cardi B. But something about I forget the name of the song, but it was basically something about people, being jealous of necessarily her. I forget. I'm sorry, I do forget the name. But it was something about, like I said, other women being jealous of you. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, she's like I said, because the shit was ready to calm down, blah, blah, blah. She was either, because the community apparently is trying to cancel her, for fronting about being a mental health professional, being a mental health doctor and whatnot. She's like, I'm a life coach. You don't need to be the doctor to be a life coach, blah, blah, blah. But basically, like I said, the it's coming down on her, and she doesn't, and she captioned the video on social media yesterday. She captioned it, "Y'all still talking?" Because she expects the stuff to go away at some point, which it's not going to go away until she comes clean. And if she don't come clean, they'll just cancel her. And because people are saying like wild shit, like, yeah, she could be facing mail fraud if people thought she was a doctor and paid her money for her services and whatnot. Granted, she's been on, like I said, Paul Pierce, Cam Newton, Shannon Sharp. She's been on various shows and whatnot, kind of giving it to black men and whatnot and saying things. But, you know, yeah, and if it becomes out that she's criminal, that's on her. But it's only going to go away until she comes clean and says, okay, yeah, I'm not a doctor. I was fronting. You know, I was on that Jay-Z shit. Hell yeah, I'm fronting, but you love it though, right? But like I said, Dr. Umar did her. I think he did her. I think he did her a really strong solid by going out and saving her, sticking his neck out there for her like that, you know, and saying that, you know, it's because of her looks, because that was the next thing she did was put up that video. And trust me, I was talking about her face earlier. Like I said, you can tell that she's you can tell she's getting up there in age, in her 40s. I think she's like mid 40s, 44, 45, something like that. You can see it in her eyes on an up close picture, up close videos on these up close view on these videos you've seen of her. You can see she's in her 40s plus. She's still got a great body. Like I said, she's gonna be around for a while, y'all. You need to get ready. You need to just get ready to accept it. She's gonna be around for a while because she's really done nothing, unless she really does catch some criminal charges. You know, which may be the reason why she doesn't, you know, come clean totally like that. Because she don't come clean, feds ain't really got no reason to really get at her immediately. They got other shit to worry about. But there's she's gonna be here for a while. She's gonna be around for a while. She's attractive. She's got good camera presence. I mean, yeah, she had that meltdown on the with Toure and the other co-hosts. I mean, yeah, you know, she basically called him a sissy. You know, yeah, even though Toure's married, I believe, and she acknowledged that. You talk to your wife like that, not talk to me. You talking soft, blah blah blah. It was go look it on there. You know, Cheyenne brand versus Toure. But yeah, man, I unless there's an arrest for her for something like that, she's gonna be around for a while. Get used to her, just like Umar was gonna be around for a while. You know, Tommy Sotomayor still. There's always gonna be an undesirable quality about these social media people, because they're easier to vet than, like, say, the news people who has an employee who they're employees and they can keep their files secret. You know, but as a you know, social media, you know, your social media influencer, once they find about your information, it's just downhill from there. All right, but tell me what you think. She gonna be around for a while? Are people really just jealous of her looks, or is it because of the slick shit she be talking to men and about men? Tell me what you think. The answers to these questions and more on the next episode of Soap. All right, like, leave comments, subscribe to the channel. We got more to come, especially in the next football season. Just wait. Holla.